Hi guys, Dogre here with a new video, and this video will be a discussion video, which I'm going to say that League of Legends is just mile ahead of what World of Warcraft can bring MMR wise. But there are like a lot of things going on, right? So let's talk about World of Warcraft really quickly. So the MMR problems that healers have is still up to date. It still is how it is currently. And it is the same for DPS as well. World of Warcraft Solo Shuffle is probably one of the worst systems I could find for a solo queue competitive game. Yes, it is fair. And I'm going to say fair for the DPS because they get better comps if it is via solo shuffle than without solo shuffle. Why? Because at least you get a chance to have a different comp every fight, every game, except if there is like a mirror class or spec. Normally you are like swapping teammates, and so you have a chance to win maybe with your better comp instead of like having a double rogue team, for example. You have maybe the chance to have a rogue mage or a rogue warlock. But the issue is that in this system, draws exist. And when draws happen, it needs to be super, super fair, or else it just is unfair and you prefer not to draw in a lot of situations. I'm going to give you the analogy of football, soccer for you guys in the US. In football, United facing City in a Premier League match, if they do a draw, it is still rewarding those two teams 1 point. It is not going to reward the lesser team. So let's say United is 14th, so they would gain more points because they draw. So the MMR from United is lower than City. So because they draw, they get more points, while City, because they draw and they are second or fourth or whatever their position is currently, they are punished for drawing versus a lower team. So they get -5 for some reason. Like there is no reason, but they get -5. And even if they win by the tiniest margin, 1-0 for example, well, they expected to be winning 4-0, so you're still losing some MMR or CR. And that is how solo shuffle healing is, and sometimes for DPS in at higher elo, depending on your MMR and the global MMR from the lobby, there are situations where you even lose MMR by winning the match. So a healer that is expected to win for some reason, they draw, they lose points, and if they win, they have to win hard enough to even gain anything. Is that a fair system? No. In a world where MMR doesn't correlate with skill, a 200 difference in MMR is not going to be a whole ocean of difference, and it doesn't translate well enough. If you are 2.4k and you're facing a 2.2k healer, in solo shuffle mind you, you should not be punished because you faced someone that is lower MMR than you. Same goes for the 2.2. You should not be able to win MMR or CR because you draw versus a better healer on paper. It should not be the case. It should be that if you're drawing with the other healer, it should be a total gain for everyone. It should be like a 1 point like in soccer, which would translate 10 MMR, for example, positive for both. Now the problem is we are playing World of Warcraft, which is one of the most, like, people are going to take the shortest shortcut to victory. So they're going to say, handshake on it. I do 3 wins, you do 3 wins. We're going to draw our way to the top. And that's the problem with draws. Draws are not good. It's not a good system. You don't want to have draws in games. In League of Legends, you cannot draw. So that is already out of the way. You either win or you lose. In League of Legends, It is a team MMR versus a team MMR, and your gains and your losses only depends on your current MMR and your win rate. So it means that if you have a 70% win rate the last 20 matches, and you didn't like do a crazy like loss rate before, you're going to gain 30 points if you win, and if you lose, you would lose 22 points. But if you have 30% win rate and you win, you would gain 20 points and you would lose 25, because the system tries to evaluate your correct MMR, your correct placement. But me, your enemy, that is 50-50, like 50% win rate, and I'm facing a top lane that has 30% win rate for some reason, I am not punished nor rewarded because I faced you in a singular top lane matchup and I win, and for some reason I get rewarded or losing because of something I cannot control, which is your account, right? So how does it work? Well, if I win, I don't take points from you. No, I don't take points from the top laner against me. I'm only gaining or losing depending on my status of the account. On Togray right now, I am gold. So I started back League of Legends. We have like currently how many wins or losses, I don't know. I have 25 wins. I think it's a 50% win rate currently, which is not great. I think it's 50% win rate. Don't know how I can show you here. It's like I should go on the website, but whatever. But overall, like I have a 50% win rate. So for every game I win, I also lose the game afterwards, because I just really am not great at playing consistently right now. But I have 50 games on my account, and I plan to play a bit more League of Legends. Alright? The system is not going to punish me or reward me depending on who I'm facing. But the teams are seen as a total. So it means that someone that, like a team that has 2k MMR is going to face another team that has 2k MMR. And disparities between the top lane, mid lane, jungle, ADC and support is like different from one another, but it's not like they're seeing the player as a top lane MMR. They're just seeing as a player MMR. So I could be like really bad at top lane. I just play top lane for one game. It will put me in the same lobby as if I'm like playing ADC. Is it a good system? Is it a bad system? I leave it up to you. But it is a system that works. It is a system where if I win, I do gain the points depending on the status of my account. I also, when I lose, it depends on the status of my account as well. If I keep on losing on this account, for some reason I have 10 losses in a row, you can bet that I will be losing 30 points and I will be winning 22 or 23 points every single time I'm going to win. That just is how the system is going to be in place. They want you to be at the right MMR and right rank. But in World of Warcraft, for some reason, you queue up as a healer. First and foremost, your queue is super fast. So they put you first come, first serve kind of thing. And you don't decide who you're facing, but you are facing a healer that is 200 MMR than you, lesser than you. So it means that you're playing for charity, basically. You can only gain anything from that lobby if you're going 5-1. Tell me if that's a bad system or not, because for me it's a bad system. You are not choosing your opponent. You're not choosing who you're facing. You cannot even dodge anyone. You cannot say, oh, dude, you're 200 MMR less than me. I don't want to play that game. You don't have that. It's you got a queue, you got in, you didn't wait for even 2 seconds, you're in, and you play for like M&Ms and you can lose some big ass car. What is the system that Blizzard has in place that feels that it's okay, an okay thing to do that? Is it okay for the players to be punished on something they cannot control? It's already very difficult in Social to just control a win, because it is 3v3. It's a like first kill deathmatch, so it means that one kill and it resets. The match is over. You cannot even come back 2-3. It just is like one guy is dead. For some reason, that guy AFK'd. Boom, you lost a round without like you being able to change anything. And you're punished for that. And if you're winning, you're not even rewarded. You're basically playing for the amusement of 5 other people around you. And you, the high MMR healer that is like not choosing the enemy, got into a lobby that is just 200 MMR less than you, you have everything to lose and nothing to gain. As a healer, you cannot measure someone's power first and foremost because of a MMR number, because it's already very hard to translate MMR to skill. It could be just two wins in a row that you are 2.4. You can do 2 6-0s and you're propulsed to 2.4k if you're 2.2. So it doesn't translate to skill. It doesn't translate to your personal skill. It doesn't translate to a you have to lose or win depending on the system, how they think about your MMR compared to the other enemy team. I think people are like are really sleeping on it. Like if you're like speaking out loud about it, I encourage you guys. And sometimes you will be seen as a fool because you spoke out loud to no one. But speak it out loud. It's a 3v3 game mode where it's a soul shuffle. It shuffles the team around except the healers. The healers is a 1v1. The healers are accounted as healer MMR. So basically, my MMR versus your MMR. If I win, I steal your MMR. But if your MMR is lower than me, I cannot really steal from you until you are like losing that hard that I do steal a bit from you. But if you're winning, you're stealing way more than what I would lose versus like a equal MMR play. So you would be stealing 80 MMR from me for a 4-2, while I would be winning, or I would literally be losing MMR as well if I go 4-2 versus you. I would be losing 20 because the system would think, oh, 200 MMR difference, you need to be winning 5-1 minimum. That really sucks. It's not like if you speak it out loud, it doesn't even make sense that it exists. So you're going to say, what is your proposal, Togre? You're here yapping. You're here to say, oh, bad game, oh, League of Legends is that much better, blah, blah, blah. The truth is, if you want to have a fair team play MMR system, which is already very hard to do, even in League of Legends, 5v5, you get trolled by one, it's already GG's. But in World of Warcraft, where 3v3, an individual is counting even more than a League of Legends individual, and you lose because someone dies, so it's just like a death, nothing like it's tied to an objective. If you're dead, you lost a round. Just one death. How do you fix it? How do you learn from League of Legends or from other games that are like way more advanced in how they handle MMR? And even if they say that they try to adjust the MMR from like in the season, how long the season goes, how easier it is to gain MMR because it is tuned like that, World of Warcraft still messes up in Soul Shuffle. 3v3, 3v2 is different because that is population based. If you don't have a lot of population, unfortunately, they cannot give you a 10-minute queue for 3v3. So they will make you face versus like lower MMR teams. That's the problem with the game as a World of Warcraft. You have multiple queues. You have 2v2, 3v3, you have Soul Shuffle, you have solo queue RBGs, you have RBGs. If they had like only 1 or 2 queues like League of Legends, which are like Flex, you have Flex and you have ranked solo duo. Those are the 2 ranked queues. So you have ranked solo and ranked Flex queue. You cannot see because I have my camera. I'm going to move it really quickly. As you can see below, you have 2 queues that have MMR. And the other ones are like a lot like, they are like normal games, right? So, how do you fix it on World of Warcraft? Well, if you can not like reduce the amount of playable game modes, then you need to be honest, the play I would do is like just remove solo queue, solo shuffle, 3v3. Put solo queue and a team play in one queue, which is 3v3 and 2v2. So you could also solo queue 2v2. And it would be that if you're solo queuing, you are 99% of the time facing another solo queue versus you. That's the play I would do. Then people are going to yap and they're going to say, but Dogray, you cannot do that. You're going to be a team and you're going to face versus solo queues. No, that's not gonna happen. If you're a team, you're going to face other teams. If you have to have a 10-minute queue to get another team, it will be 10-minute queue for another team because it means that it is not popular enough to have another team playing the game. But if you're a solo queue player, you can only face another duo queue or like a triple solo queue. That's the only solutions you have. And yes, it is unfair to face another duo queue, but it's the same for League of Legends. If you're solo queuing, you can maybe have a duo queue in your team, but the system will recognize that and they will make you face another duo queue versus you. Why is that important what I'm saying? You will have only 2 arena queues, which is 2v2 and 3v3. 2v2 will also be popular because if you're solo queuing, you're going to have some pretty fun matchups. Like you're going to have double DPS comps. Maybe you can have a solo queue where you can only face other double DPS comps. Why not? I don't know. You can fix that. In 3v3, the population will be bigger. It's not going to be individual MMR, but it will be team-based MMR. So it means that if I am 1.9k, my friend is... I'm 1.9k, another individual is 2k, and the other one is 2.1k, the overall MMR of that team is 2k. And you're going to be facing another team that has an overall MMR of 2k as well. So if someone has 1.9k, 2k, 2.1k, the other one could be 1950, 2000, 2050. It would be the same because it would be still 2000 the MMR. That is a better system because the queue times are going to be lower. You are going to have a bigger pool of players into one queue, so 3v3 will be way more popular. You will have no MMR issues anymore because obviously the pool of players is bigger, but also you're not going to be individuals anymore. It's not going to be a healer versus healer kind of thing. It will be a team versus team, individual versus individual. You as a player versus another player. And yes, it is tied to your spec, but it is frankly not the thing that is going to be the factor. The factor will be your MMR, not your personal character MMR, and not your spec MMR. So it means that if you're 2k MMR on your Frost Mage, likelihood is you're going to be very close to 2k MMR on your Fire Mage. And that is going to be the same. It should be something like that. It should be turned into something like that. If you still want to have solo queue be separated from 3v3, then put a 3v3 solo queue mode where it's not solo shuffle. And it is a best of 3 round. So it means that what happens? I am a resto druid, I'm with a warrior and a warlock, I'm facing a resto shaman with a retribution paladin and a feral druid, for example. I win 1 round, they get another chance to be able to win, so it's a 1-1, and the 3rd round is a decider on who is winning the whole match. And the more rounds you win, the less MMR you're losing. So it means that if you're winning 1 and you're losing 2, you're going to lose less MMR than if you're losing 2-0. And yes, the comps are not going to be always fair, it is what it is at the end of the day, but Blizzard needs to step away from that solo shuffle thing because it's not going to work. You will always have a healer problem with MMR or with participation or with motivation or whatever you want to describe it. They are not willing to play to lose. Like, if you can actually choose your enemies and you can fine tune, you can say, look, I can only face people that are around my MMR, then okay, you can have draws, I don't care. But you need to step away from that. At one point, when is it a stop? And that's why I wanted to discuss about that. So I am on League of Legends. I am enjoying my time. I prefer way better the system of MMR, even though it is punishing me more whenever I'm losing, because yes, the games are long, and I can sometimes smell a loss from a kilometer, and it is from a mile if you're from the US, I don't care. But the truth is, it happens. And it happens from both sides. But you cannot like tell me with a straight face that World of Warcraft Solo Shuffle MMR is the way to go, because no other game would be doing that. No other game. It is too complex. You cannot really tell what you're winning or losing every single match. You already see from the start of the lobby if you're going to have to 5-1 or 6-0 to win anything as a healer. A DPS can also go draw and you have waited 20 minutes for nothing. I just can't. So that's my take. Again, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. I know it's a World of Warcraft video and it's also a League of Legends video, but playing League of Legends, I was thinking like, dude, like World of Warcraft is doing so bad at that. Like it cannot be, like it cannot really be that you are depend, like it depends on who you're facing, on the amount of MMR or CR you're winning, while you do not like control anything of that. Like you do not control who you're facing. So for me, I'm beyond that. So again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.